This game is free, but is it worth it? Maybe not, and I'll show you why. I played this game for a while and we'll see together the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then you can decide for yourself because in the end, the game is free. This game came out about almost a year ago in June of 2020, and for a short week, it's going to be free as long as you just get it. It's going to be in your library forever, 100% off. It's not a demo, you get to keep it. But is it really worth it? Well, so far I'm just like seeing how this works, and controls are okay. We seem to have like control over the weapons we can use. We can upgrade the weapons. They seem to have higher damage, I'm seeing. We can also customize our character eventually, I guess. But for now, it just seems like we move around. The game is called Just Move, as the name suggests, and you just attack these people. It looks like we have about 110 health. We haven't lost health once. We're dealing about 20 damage per attack with this minigun. Let's see if we can get some damage. Alright, they deal some damage. It's not a lot. Can I get some money? Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh my god, okay. The controls are a little bit frustrating because if you click B twice, you kind of like restart the level without wanting to. Let's see how much we heal with those little things on the floor. We heal quite a bit generously. One thing I have noticed so far is that there's no real audio control, so I had to lower it manually for you guys, but it's a bit loud on my end. Not the end of the world. On your end, you can always just lower the volume, and that's as easy as it gets. One thing I noticed is this developer created, let's call it a sequel to this game, and that came out in December, so about 6 months after this game, and they look oddly similar. I cannot tell any real differences, but maybe there's more levels, maybe the setups are slightly different, but I'm gonna give this game a fair chance. I'm gonna give it a chance to shine. I'm gonna play through as much as possible. Don't know how many levels there are. Maybe this is going to be a 100% experience. Who knows? Alright, there's a cop. Okay, and this time we have a ranged enemy. Interesting twist. It's a little bit different than usual. And we go forward. We have new weapons. It seems like we're almost unlocking some weapons. We're almost unlocking some characters. Let's see. Okay, so the bullets are quite slow. We can definitely dodge these bullets that the cops shoot at us. That's fine. And we seem to be getting an achievement every single time we get a new level. We get to a new stage. So if you ever like, oh, I really want some achievements, I guess is a one quick way to find them. Not a lot of reviews on this game. About 5 reviews. It seems to be probably a solo developer considering the game. But you know, it's kind of cool to see how this is going. Right now, the idea is, I can see why Steam suggested this game to me. I play Brotato, and it's the kind of game where you just have to move. You don't really get to shoot and control that kind of stuff. Maybe that game falls into that niche to some extent, but I have to say the execution is not quite on the same level. But we're going to see together a little bit if that tickles your fancy. So far, it seems like the progression is quite slow. Like there's been no real challenges to us. We've been having a very easy time getting through all the levels. I think if you have to like actively try to lose this game so far. And maybe that will change very soon. But right now, as of stage 1-8, 1-8 is probably the first one that's trying to give me a bit of a challenge. Maybe everything was a tutorial so far. We'll see how many worlds there are. Does it stop at 1-9? Does it go up into 1-10? 1-15? I don't really know. So we're about to find out. Okay. So we're seeing about... Alright, we're healing quite easily. And there we go. 1-8. It's complete. Stage 1-9. Alright, so finally we're starting to get like a bit of a difficulty spike. when it comes to enemies. Maybe I should look into leveling up. We have like a 1.5 thousand. Like we can definitely afford the level ups. Just to make sure we kill the enemies a little bit quicker. We probably don't even need the extra health right now. But maybe it's good since these bullets hit a bit. I'm not going to say hard, but they take about a sixth of our health away each time they hit us. Yeah, these melee guys don't really put much of a... Don't really give any kind of risk. They're completely fine. It's the cops with the bullets that add a little bit of a challenge, but nothing really worrisome so far. Looks like we have unlocked a weapon. Let's see if we can get it. X, okay. Alright, so clicking sideways a little bit wonky, but okay. We can equip this shotgun. Alright, that's cool. What about B? We can level up ourselves. Alright. The menu could use a little bit of work. Like there's menus that seem to like overlap with each other, so there's a few bugs and kinks to fix out, but it's maybe expected. I don't know, it's being a little bit odd. Okay, we have leveled up. Yes, X. All right, the menu's acting a little bit funny. Can I get rid of this? Let's try a guitar. I want to see what this one's about. Alright. Now we're going without... Okay, guitar is just like a machine gun. That's what it is. Don't really see much of a difference with the machine gun, but it has a cool shape. So if you like the skin, that's nice. What else do we have here? Alright. Yeah, not bad at all. We're doing quick work of all the enemies. Let's collect some of the money so we can buy some stuff, I guess. So there isn't much of a story so far, and it doesn't need to have a story. Some games don't really thrive on having a story. We're slowly unlocking this character, and now we're into the new section. Alright, so that was the boss fight for us. Good to know. So using the mouse maybe is good at preventing that bug from happening. Even though I'm using a controller from to actually move around, the mouse seems to be like a decent option to make sure you don't over-click, I guess. Because if you click anything to try pause the game, it just seems to restart no matter what you try. Now, the levels are quite short, so it's not the end of the world, but right now the gameplay loop doesn't seem as compelling as something like Brotato. Usually there's different level ups, synergy, stuff that you can build. Right now, the most compelling aspect has been trying to get maybe a different skin, maybe a different kind of gun, but it's not, you know, the fact that the guitar acts more or less identical to the machine gun isn't super promising. 110, alright. We almost finished unlocking this guy. Let's see. Let's try the shotgun. Let's play with it. We're gonna boost it up. 38 damage. Interesting. I don't remember this doing 56 damage a pop. So maybe it's like a... I don't know. It's based on DPS, damage per second. But here we are. This seems to be... Alright, this guy has a 2 on top of his name. So maybe difficulty 2. What happens if we step on a bomb? It doesn't matter anymore. So... Oh, I guess we're now in the 2-stage levels. In fact, we have a different map style. That's cool, I guess. It took 10 whole levels to have a different style, so I guess we're going to be stuck with it for the next 10 or so. Alright, so the shotgun, he just explodes. If we trigger him to a certain degree, he just goes into explosion mode, and we don't really need to kill him. He still gives us the money and everything else. Are we close to unlocking this? It looks like we have unlocked this character. Yep, 480 hours. Sure thing. We got the guy with a beard and red hoodie. I don't like the shotgun as much as, well, it deals a lot of damage, I guess, if you're able to get all bullets on him. But I feel like the guitar was doing a little bit better. Now, the guitar was upgraded to deal more damage. But again, I don't know. The guitar felt a little bit more convincing. So far, I don't think I see a ton of replayability. Just because, like, there isn't much to do. Okay, I'll just equip this one. I'm okay with it. Oh, wait, and how many do we need? 10 pictures and 10 pictures. Alright, so I guess those will show up soon. And here, nothing really too interesting. There isn't much of a replayability. Like, I can see you maybe, even if you enjoy this genre, maybe you'll enjoy a little bit of this. But after you're done with it, there isn't exactly like, oh, I'll have a second run at this. I'll have a different build. There are no real builds. Like, the guns, you can kind of test them all to your full enjoyment within these levels. The movement speed feels quite slow. Maybe if there were items that increase my movement speed, that would be kind of cool. But that's not what we have here. Okay, lots of enemies. Maybe this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Right now, it hasn't felt much of a challenge, which is part of the maybe we can call it issue. We can call it like directive choice. The game's direction, it was like, there was like a little bit of a hint of an idea, but then there was like, you know, it lacks the implementation of things that would make games of this genre or this style really memorable or replayable or worth revisiting. Like, I cannot see myself right now playing this game much, if at all. I'll probably just uninstall it and never play it again. Let's play. If we don't see like some sort of like build concept, like, are we going to build something? And by build I mean, like, are we going to like have different weapons, or can we get like a weapon that fires more often, that has way more range? And I don't mean that as just a weapon, I mean it as an item, so I can turn any weapon into something different. That just doesn't seem present here. It seems like the kind of game that's kind of maybe a first time project of a new developer. Like, if you want to be a game dev, this is actually very cool. It can be like a very good base for future projects. But as it is, it might work better as a maybe a demo or something. Like, it feels a lot like a demo, just like, you know, like, I would not hate this game if it tried to literally copy what Potato does. Or what is the other game? Vampire Masquerade, Vampire Survivors, something. Vampire Survivors, yeah. I haven't played that actually, which is odd because it's right up my alley, kind of in the kind of stuff I enjoy. But like, I wouldn't be upset if a dev copied what actually works very well. Like, I mean, you're trying to put yourself in that kind of genre. Why not just do what works? I mean, unless you're trying something very innovative, which unfortunately this one isn't. It's not innovative like that. It doesn't have that kind of innovation. It's more of a proof of concept right now. And it worries me that the follow-up to this game that I saw wasn't really looking like much of a change. Now, I didn't even really look at the Steam page that deeply, but the screenshots seem to have the same degree of art, the same kind of art. Don't know if... Okay, we can have fit to there. It seems to have like the same characters. It's more like, okay, I made 10 more levels and I placed more enemies. This is the new game, which is a bit unfortunate. I mean, for free, if you see this video within the next week, absolutely not a problem. I mean, it can probably kill an hour or so. You can try it for yourself. It's probably not the worst thing. But you know, oh, look at that. We have 190 health. I didn't even notice that. Maybe it's the new guy who has more health. That could be it. All right. New level. Okay. So I mean, if somebody ever challenges you to get, uh, somebody ever challenges you to get more like, hey, can you get 10 achievements in 5 seconds? Oh, we upgrade this to the max. That's good to know. There's a cap on how much you can upgrade. Maybe don't do that. I don't know. Unless something's severely broken as a weapon, I would not like. I would be pissed if Brotato had caps on weapons. I am already pissed that Brotato has a cap on vampirism, but I understand that would be a bit too unfair. But I'm still pissed about that. So why do we feel like the guitar needs a cap? The electric guitar that works like a machine gun. It kind of doesn't, right? So I think he's spamming more. We're getting like a bigger spam of enemies. There's more of them. It doesn't really change the difficulty because you can still take him. They all like trigger when you get into their range. Maybe like a group mechanic that once you trigger one, you trigger everybody within their range, like within, I don't know, 5 feet of them, 10 feet of them, everybody gets triggered. That could be an interesting idea. Like, oh, we trigger this guy, so automatically triggers the cop behind him. That would be an interesting aspect to the mechanic. Instead, like, it's just like on a 1-per-1 basis. So even though there's way more enemies, we can still do these fights basically a couple people at a time. It doesn't really change that. I think we have unlocked a new weapon. So let's give it a try. 45 damage. Should be respectable kind of damage. What does it cost to upgrade? 160. So we can definitely get that kind of money. Okay, I see that we have changed a bit the style of the layout of the cars. That's nice. This weapon's a little bit on the weak side compared to the guitar. We took a fair bit of damage. We have 200 health points. Oh, but it deals damage in AoE. It's hurting the other characters as well. Like if they're close enough. That's interesting. It's still a bit too slow for my taste, so I wouldn't really use this weapon much longer. I might try level it up a fair bit and then I'll come back to it, I guess. We have 2 police cars. One was painted baby blue, one was painted black. I guess there's a couple options there. There's what seems to be like a Camaro, I think. I think it's a Camaro. A higher, like some item that just like makes you run faster would be so nice. And the whole idea of like just move. I mean, I could stand still and probably be okay. Oh, we only shoot when we move. That's an interesting thing I didn't notice until now. But you know, the whole like if you could shoot while not moving, in a way, it would still be okay. So like you guys see the issue. Like yeah, there's like all these enemies, but are they really doing anything? Not really. We just run backwards, bait them, trigger them, run backwards, and we just repeat the whole process over. There's definitely potential. I mean, if the dev have, considering that the dev released a new game since its creation, maybe this game is not going to receive any updates. Let's put it that way. But I think if like I found this in early access, I would still hold out some hope and be like, okay, no, this could be something cool. We could see something very cool here if they implement some mechanics. Maybe the dev is the type that they would rather start a new game from scratch. Oh wow, we were pushed back. Interesting. Didn't expect that. We'd rather start a new game from scratch and implement new mechanics there, and that's completely fine as a strategy. Like, who am I to police that kind of decision? Alright, first time that we're kind of being pushed into something that's dangerous just because it spawned everybody close to us. Alright, we just click A and start back over. Okay. It's cool. Unfortunately, the whole strategy to play this and survive it a little bit more is be even more conservative, which is fine, I guess. You know, some games are very defensive focused, but now we can just play super conservative and be even safer. And there's the challenge. The challenge is kind of gone. Maybe like I don't know. Still talking about copying more successful games. Some games like Potato, they have enemies that increase in health little by little each and every wave. Not that I would want that right now because they already take too long to die. And since it's not much of a challenge, I'm like, it's fine. But having something like an armor effect, a dodge effect, those are all things that I would love to have in this game. Maybe vampirism doesn't fit, and that's fine, but like you can have some sort of like base level health regen. Something that lets me be a little bit more aggressive. Different kind of weapons, like why are they all guns? Can I not have like a little baseball bat like the other guys do? And if it's a baseball bat, why can we not make it like a two-handed axe? Kind of like, what about a sword? Isn't that like an option? Like, those are just the things I'm thinking about. Like, when I think about this game, I think about like there was potential, there was an idea, and so much of the background work has already been done. But there really isn't an execution on those ideas. Alright, so let's do this. I'll meet you guys in a little bit. If you should play all 9 or 10 levels that there are, what do I feel about it, and I'll see you in a second. So I have some different ideas. I'm only 4 stages in, but I want to give some props where the props are due. Like, look at this weapon. This weapon is basically able to bounce its shot and hit different enemies. Also, each stage has introduced new different kinds of enemies that go beyond this the cops and stuff. Like here we have some snipers, they follow you around a little bit. Here's there's a musketeer that basically has a shotgun. Don't know why the musketeer style, but I don't know. I think there is some sort of inspiration in this game, like is okay. Like there are some good concepts going on. I think there just needs to be more or better execution of them, because like look, this game would be way more interesting if it had just don't take your sweet ass time to introduce the enemies. Just introduce them little by little, but more frequently. Don't make me wait 10 waves to get a different kind of enemy. That's just too slow. Like, and don't make me wait 100 years to unlock this weapon. Like, make me break the game. That is what I think people are looking for, an experience where you get to like essentially break the game, have a new thing. And items are the biggest thing. Like, make it so that there's items that have interesting synergies, higher damage, higher crit chance, add a crit chance. There's no such thing as crit chance in this game. Stupid regen, stupid health, so I can just jump in the middle and not worry. Those are things that I personally look for. I think it would greatly benefit in this game, because overall it has a skeleton of a good start. Like, you know, no game starts perfect. Like, I don't know, have you ever guys seen how Hades, the Hades developers, I think Supergiant, they had a different kind of game before Hades, and if you look at that game, it is so close to the Hades we eventually got later on, years later. So like they reused a lot of the assets, they had a lot of the combat style was already there. So there's nothing wrong with using older assets and just expanding upon it, making better systems. And I mean, obviously with the sequel that came out in December, it doesn't seem like there's an issue with reusing assets, but the assets need to be improved upon. and they need a system. They need some sort of inspiration when it comes to the way the player gets to interact with the game. Right now, everything in this game is very heavily, how do we say it, moderated. I would say it's very heavily under the control. Like, the game is telling me what weapons I get to have, and it's only 5 weapons, what enemies I see when I see them, and it's like they're all showing up. It tells me how much the weapons can level up the characters. I don't really understand what's the difference between the characters. Like, they just have slightly higher health, maybe. There doesn't seem to be, like, I don't know, the damage doesn't seem noticeable. Like, she still has 180 health. This guy has, well, 180, but it used to be 200. I don't know why. The choice of weapons is very minimal, and like, this one causes an explosion, this is a shotgun, these two are the same thing, and this one causes a laser that bounces. Like, there just needs to be more of everything, and maybe a mechanic where enemies kind of trigger each other a little bit, similar to how this shotgun is doing. Not shotgun, this like bouncing bullet. I guess once they get hit by bullets, they get triggered. Well, give me something that can do that without the bullet. Like, I think this game has a skeleton that future titles might end up benefiting from, like, what the groundwork that was made for this one. But as it stands right now, and without really looking at the Steam page of the other game, I don't know if this would be the kind of game that makes me buy the sequel. Not at least for now. Not until I know that the sequel is way better, way more developed, polished. Yeah, please add some polish. The menu is pretty lackluster. There aren't much. Oh wow, that was a lot of damage all at once. There aren't a ton of options. Like, the music is either 100% or nothing. You can easily exit out of the game by accident. Please put a quit button or something. Like, don't put just an X, because the X makes me think I'm going to close the window instead of closing the game. Fortunately, it doesn't take much to open it. It takes only a few seconds. But there is potential. Maybe I'll be proven wrong and the sequel's much better someday. Maybe I'll revisit. But you guys can let me know all that stuff. But for the time being, this was a fun game. Is it worth the free price tag? Absolutely. I mean, I take it back. Is it worth the free price tag? I don't know. If you're into these kind of games and you want to give it a try, definitely check it out. If this gameplay loop is a little bit repetitive, so if it doesn't seem like too appealing to you, then I wouldn't go for it. Like, will I finish this game? Probably not. I don't think so. Maybe I'll finish, like, on a very bored day while I'm waiting for a video to render. I'll do a couple levels just for fun. So it went from, like, getting uninstalled immediately to being in my computer for slightly longer until maybe I'll finish it. But it doesn't seem like the kind of game that I want to come back to or do some videos about. Like, this is probably going to be the only video. So yeah, that's my thoughts. That's my impressions. Let me know if you think differently. I mean, you can pick it up for free instead of, I believe, $5 or something, which, again, insane price tag for the game it is. But as of now, it's a fun time killer. It doesn't take much. You got it for free. You can enjoy it for free, and I might finish it someday, little by little. But that's all my thoughts for today. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.